Welcome back to the second episode of Cougs Chaos. I'm Logan Prowse. I'm here with your co-host,
Jack Zimmerman.
We just want to start off by saying sorry for the long wait between our first episode. We're here now, and we're hoping to be more regular.
Yeah, and we just wanted to remind you guys, we're on Instagram at Cougs Chaos, one word. And we have a Gmail at cougschaos@gmail.com. Just, follow us on Instagram. We're going to be posting clips and, trying to get to know you guys. And you can also email us if you want to suggest ideas or, just tell us what you like, what you don't like. You can do that on both platforms. Absolutely welcome.
Jack, I think we should start off with a little Coug talk.
Absolutely.
So how have your classes been going? On our first episode, we realized that online classes are not the best. Has that changed at all?
Believe it or not, no. So my opinions are basically the same. Not a fan. Online class, it's hard to really – well, there's two negatives. First of all, it's hard to actually learn and get the same quality of education. But it's just hard to be motivated. You're not getting the same, experience you would have gotten. I don't have – a study hall or a library to work at. I don't have classmates that I know really. I don't really get any of that, and sometimes there's actually one of my classes office hours is at the same time as my other class. So not really anything I can do about that. It's kind of restricting. Overall, I don't really like going to college in my bedroom. Not the best. Wouldn't really recommend. How about you? What do you think?
Yeah, no, opinion has not changed at all. I will say one of the more positive, you said pretty much all the negatives, and I agree with you.
Yeah.
But to make it positive, I do have a few classes where we're in study groups and they don't change. And so I'm able to meet with new people every week. Mm-hmm. And so I kind of get to know these people better.
That sounds pretty good.
That's nice. Yeah. But, other than that, it's not a whole lot.
Yeah, I have one class like that. I have a group that we're working with, a big assignment that's due at the end of the semester. So I'm getting to know a couple guys, but – that's 3 guys out of my 5 classes. That's not very good. Yeah.
I know probably all of our listeners are excited about this, but we got the news that the Pac-12 will be coming back. We'll be playing football this season. I think November 19th, something like that. November 9th.
November 13th, maybe.
November something.
The first couple weeks of November. I think it's 6 games, 3 at home, 3 away.
Yep, all conference.
Yeah, all conference. Very excited. I know it's not the Pac-12 Cougar football season we were expecting and wanted, but hey, it's better than nothing. I'm super excited to be able to see our guys go out and play. It's going to be a lot of fun.
And
finally going to get some school spirit going.
Especially, this is going to be the first year with Coach Rolo, first year without Mike Leach.
That's a big change.
So it's going to be interesting to see how our team has changed from the air raid and speed D defense that we had with Mike Leach to now we might actually have a running back and hand the ball off a few times.
Maybe.
Who knows? Yeah. So I think that's going to be the most exciting part about it is being able to play under a new head coach and under a new playing staff.
It is kind of sad we're not getting a full season with this change, but it's a nice little introduction to our new play style. Another exciting thing about WSU and Pac-12 football is the Apple Cup is a home game for WSU this year,
but no one can go.
No one's gonna be there. But hey, we're not gonna have to travel. I think maybe we could take it this year.
I think it could be close. And the past few seasons, we've had a quarterback going into the start of the season that we've known he's going to be the starter Minshew, and then Gordon was a little later, but we both know it. And now I don't even know who the starting.
I don't either.
So it's going to be interesting to see. It's better. It's definitely better than no football, but
I was just talking about that with my dad because really the season's about to start and I have no idea who our quarterback is going to be. So it's going to be interesting. It's kind of a delayed start because I don't know how long they knew about it before we were notified.
Exactly.
But I hope they can get it together. 6 games is not that much. It's not a huge season, but it's better than nothing, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch Cougar football again.
Yeah. All right, and now let's move on to our little sports segment. I think we should start off by talking a little bit about Seahawk football.
Absolutely. Exciting game.
Oh, my gosh. 5-0 for the first time in Seahawk history.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson's out there cooking with DK.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. DK Metcalf has quickly become not only Russell Wilson's favorite red zone target, but his favorite late game clutch target as well. Russell Wilson loves to just throw the ball to our 6'4", 225-pound running back who can run a 4.3 340 and just let him do what he can do.
And I must say the most impressive thing is from like the first few games that we've played, I was a little bit on the fence because he had the issue his first year of not having quite stable hands, and he'd get the ball and try to turn upfield, and some guy would come in and hit him on his blind side, and he'd fumble it. And then like this year, it had some drops, had some fumbles. But I will say, when we need him, he comes in clutch and he uses those hands.
Every time he makes a mistake, and it's like, oh, DK, what are you doing? The next play, he makes up for it.
Yeah, and I must say that's probably a lot of Russell Wilson, because a lot of quarterbacks might say like, oh, he just dropped a pass, I'm going to go to my second wide receiver because he's in a slump. But Russell Wilson says, no, you got to have a short memory. You're getting the ball right back, and you're going to go score a touchdown for us.
Yeah, I mean, I think Russ's leadership and his confidence, it really shows in the rest of the team, how they play late game.
Yeah.
But I do have to say, I love watching game-winning drives and comebacks. But why does it have to be every game?
Can the Seahawks please just blow out somebody?
I mean, we have a fantastic ability of making every game close, whether we're playing a really good team or a really bad team.
We could be playing the Jets and have the same score if we were playing the Chiefs.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
It's crazy.
Why, if we're playing a bad team? Minnesota's not a horrible team, but they were 1-3.
Yes.
And why do we have to make it a game-winning drive?
Oh my God! It's Russell Wilson had one of the shittiest first halves he's ever had his career.
Well, and what's crazy is that he was 100% completion, but he only had 45 yards.
So it's so frustrating as a Seahawks fan that you see us go 5-0, and then and you're like, oh, okay, we're doing pretty good on the season. But then you look at the games we played, and they're decided by 7 points or whatever.
But here's something I will say. I think, yes, it is annoying that like every game is close, but Russell Wilson is I mean, we have good, Chris Carson's playing well. Of course, we already talked about our receivers. Lockett had a big game last week, not the most recent game. He had 3 first-half touchdowns. But Russell Wilson is the reason why we're 5-0. Our defense is
terrible.
I saw a stat that our defense is second to last in total yards allowed. We're last in total passing yards allowed.
I will say our rush defense.
Our rush defense is actually one of the best. But we let quarterbacks throw for 10,000 yards a game.
That's why our rush defense is so good, because they try to hand the ball off a few times. It doesn't work, and they're like, okay, we'll try to throw it. And
secondary just gets
it's so bad.
Because we have our Jamal Adams, who when he is playing, he just like rushes the quarterback.
And doesn't play safety.
So we just don't have a secondary. We are also like the bottom 5 in points allowed per game, but we're 5-0. So we got to get.
We'll take what we can get.
I'll take a 5-0 start.
Oh.
We were 4-1 in our Super Bowl victory year, so it's pretty good to be 5-0. But God, our defense has got to get it. I mean, if our defense looks like this for the rest of the season, I wouldn't be surprised if we got a new defensive coordinator.
I would not. Dan Quinn just got fired by the Falcons.
Yeah,
so maybe Pete calls some people up, gets a little reunion going. I don't know.
But Logan.
Yeah.
Speaking of football.
Yes.
And we were talking about WSU. Do you want to talk about Gardner Minshew?
You know what? I think I'm going to pass on that. I will say Gardner is playing pretty well. He just has no help.
Yeah. O-line is horrible.
Yeah, they've gone on a 4-game losing streak. I will say that. But Gardner's playing not bad. I think that's all I want to say about that.
Yeah, let's move on from that.
We will talk about his MVP season a little later on the season once they start winning again.
Let's just stick with Russ's MVP and let's move on. Okay.
So after the first episode, we did get a few comments back from you guys of we wanted to hear more sports about boxing. And so we did find some interesting boxing stuff, probably like the most exciting boxing match to ever happen.
Ever in the history of boxing.
And these are 2 of the most notable boxing names
Well,
ever.
One.
No, both. I would say both.
I would say one is a little less, but I don't think it's who you're thinking of.
Okay. So we have Floyd Mayweather. That's
I think he's an okay boxer.
He's all right.
What has he really done? Isn't
but
he like
when
50-0 though?
He is going up one of the greatest pound per pound fighters.
A state wrestler champion out of Ohio.
Logan Paul. About 10 million subscribers on YouTube, something like that.
Oh, like 20 million.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's just more to him. I think Logan Paul's absolutely going to go out there and destroy Money Mayweather.
Well, in all seriousness, first of all, I don't really see how it's a fair fight. Logan Paul's like 6'2", like 200 pounds, and Floyd Mayweather's like 5'9", 5'7". Like, he's a small guy. Wasn't he the welterweight?
Yeah, you could say all that. I think Floyd Mayweather is going to he might kill him.
He might. No, Floyd will win 100 out of 100 times. 50-year-old Floyd will kill 25-year-old Logan. But my point is, why? Floyd Mayweather is one of the most known and decorated boxers in the history
Why
of
do you
boxing.
come out of retirement to fight a YouTuber?
I mean, he came out of retirement twice to fight Manny Pacquiao and McGregor, and he won both. He's 50-0. Why would he fight this YouTube kid who's 0-1 because he tied? And
one of the shittiest form, shittiest just boxers overall. He's so bad.
And they're not even in the same weight class. Like, Logan is definitely stronger, 100%.
And he has a longer reach.
But Mayweather is faster, way more technical, and just better at boxing.
He's fought 50 people.
I mean, it's like if some kid who posts basketball videos went on 1v1 against LeBron James. Why? There's no point.
So stupid.
And the thing is, it's not. I mean, it's gonna sell tickets. But Floyd Mayweather is one of the richest boxers ever. He doesn't need the money, and he definitely doesn't need the popularity it's gonna bring. Because if anything, Floyd Mayweather is a bigger star than Logan Paul.
100%.
I'm sure people listening to this podcast right now know who Floyd Mayweather is, but not who Logan Paul is.
I'm for sure. Speaking of more boxing news, one of the biggest matchups that probably everybody has been waiting for is going to happen on November 28th, but it's not the one that you're thinking of. We know that Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. will be fighting, but to undercard that fight, we have Jake Paul, Logan Paul's brother, fighting Nate Robinson, the basketball player.
The retired 5'9" basketball player.
Oh my gosh.
Again, Jake Paul.
Why? My question is why?
This makes even less sense. So, again,
neither of them are boxers.
Huge size difference. Jake Paul's 6 foot, 6'1". Nate Robinson is 5'9". Nate Robinson is, of course, really athletic. He was an NBA player. But, again, he was an NBA player. And Jake Paul's a YouTuber. This makes no sense.
Why? Nate Robinson, you're retired. Why you come out of retirement to come fight some 20-year-old YouTuber in a boxing match? It makes no sense.
I mean, if anything, have a dunk contest.
Maybe that.
Nate Robinson could dunk when he was in the NBA.
Oh, it just makes no sense. But needless to say, we are the Paul Mayweather fight has not been announced yet, but there's many speculation that it will happen.
Yeah.
So
it most likely will.
Yeah, I think we are both super excited for those fights to come, and we are planning on, before those fights, we'll have an episode with a special guest, hopefully, that will come on, and we'll talk a little bit about those. And so look out for that episode.
Yeah, keep your ears open.
Yeah.
And our final sport topic, we're gonna quickly go over this. The Los Angeles Lakers are NBA champions.
Yeah.
I'm we talked a little bit about Lakers last episode. I'm a huge Lakers fan. And it feels so great, finally, having them champions. LeBron won Finals MVP, 4th time in his career. LeBron is not better and will never be better than Michael Jordan, so don't even try. But, hey, you won. I'm happy. Lakers are champions. Dwight Howard got his ring. I'm really happy about that.
I like that. AD got his after having to suffer in New Orleans.
But he finally got his ring. And I think he'll get more. I I would love to see Devin Booker in LA. But anyways, let's move on from that.
Yeah, so we're going to move on to a little bit of segments in today's show. Our first one is a new one that we're going to try out. It's called This or That, where I will give Jack 2 options of either this or that, and he'll have to choose one. So to start off, Jack, couch or recliner?
I'm going to have to go recliner.
Really?
Yeah. Here's the thing. I mean, maybe a reclining couch? That'd be pretty cool. That's not an option.
That's not this or that, Jack. It's in the title of the.
Yeah, but I want to make my own options. I like recliners. You know, they're super comfortable. You get to, recline. I think why would you choose sitting up straight?
See,
than reclining?
But that's not it. A couch doesn't mean like a love seat, 2 cushions straight. A couch could be like an L-shaped couch where you could sit long ways on the L, watch TV. It's pretty much just a big recliner that doesn't go back up.
But are you asking what I'd rather sit in or what I'd rather have in my house?
I'm asking couch or recliner.
I'd rather have a couch in my house, but I'd rather sit in a recliner.
Okay, that's fair.
What about you think couch?
I think couch.
Okay.
All right, now hot or cold weather?
So here's the thing.
Okay.
I kind of like mild weather.
Room temperature.
Well, I don't know if I'd say room temperature. But, like the Pacific Northwest, it doesn't get super hot. It doesn't get super cold. Like, I kind of
Well, yeah, the west side. Yeah.
I really like that. But honestly, I'd have to say cold. And here's why. If it's really cold, you can just put clothes on. But if it's really hot,
right?
It's uncomfortable.
At a certain point, you can't take off any more clothes.
Exactly. And the perfect example is like, would you rather have your bedroom really hot or really cold? If it's really cold, you throw more blankets on, you throw a hoodie on, whatever. If it's really hot, you lay there and you want to die.
I don't know if you do this, but I like to, when it's wintertime, I like to open all my windows during the day and like pull back my sheets so they're nice and cold. Mm-hmm. And when I get in bed, I run like a 6-mile marathon in my bed, just moving my legs, trying to heat up the.
Okay, well that I don't do. That's kind of
weird. Should try it. It's so nice.
Okay, so my mom has a heated like mattress thing, mm-hmm. and so she loves getting into a hot bed. I hate that.
I could never do that.
I want to warm my bed up with my own heat.
I want to warm it up while I'm in there.
Exactly. Yeah. Cold weather.
Okay, now this one is very important, and it's very, very important to me. Toilet paper, over or under?
If you have the audacity to say under, I don't want to talk to you. If it's under, you are a freaking psychopath. And you know how much this bothers me? So first, I'm over all day. My house cleaner, sometimes, if she replaces the freaking roll, she'll put it under. And it's like, why are you a human being?
No.
That's horrible.
I'll go to someone's house and I'll go to the bathroom and see that. And then I'll be like, hey, I use
their hand towels.
That's wrong.
No, it's wrong to have under. That's what they do. I leave a sticky note. It's like, this is what you get. Wrong. Yeah, no, how dare they?
Oh, my God. All right, with your water, ice or no ice?
This is a topic that holds dear in my heart.
Okay.
I'm very passionate about water. I love water. I don't really drink anything except for water. So when people tell me that water is better without ice, I tell them they're wrong.
They're so dumb.
Thank you. So you're ice.
Yes. I had this friend who I was like, oh, will you grab me a glass of water? And because he was going to go grab one. And so he came back with 2 just like room temperature glasses of water. I'm like, what is this? And he goes, well, statistically, it's easier to digest. It doesn't take as much energy to digest room temperature water because it's already room temp. That is the stupidest thing I have ever heard.
I have a story very similar. Friend was at my house the other day, and he's like, hey, will you give me a glass of water? I'm like, yeah. I come back with a glass of ice water, and he's like, there's ice in here? Oh my God. And I was like, you either get the hell out of my house or you drink that water with ice. Because some people, I've seen stuff online. It's like, oh, if you're a real water drinker, you know that it's better without ice. Shut the hell up. It is better with ice. Cold water is better, refreshing, and
it tastes better.
It is.
If
you hand me a glass of room temperature water, I will throw it back in your face.
All right. Coke or Pepsi?
Well, I don't really drink soda, but I've had both of these, and I'd say Coke all day.
Yeah. Okay. That's not even. I don't think we need to discuss this one because I think most of the population would agree with us. Coke it just tastes better.
I mean, it's like Nike or Adidas. Nike. It's like name brand and kind of not quite that.
Okay. Coffee or hot chocolate?
Again, I don't really drink either of these, but I don't like coffee.
I don't either.
People say you drink it and you get used to it. It smells horrible to me. It tastes horrible to me.
The smell I don't mind, but just I can't.
No, it tastes horrible. So I'm hot chocolate all day.
All the way. But speaking of coffee, I have kind of a funny story that is about something you wouldn't usually think about. So I was driving down this road, right? And there's one of like the more revealing coffee stands where the baristas
I know what you're talking about
tend to wear less clothing than the normal ones.
Yes.
So one of the things I didn't think about is when you are driving along the road and you're perpendicular to the building, they put a fence and shrubs in front of the building. So while you're driving, you can't look in.
You have to be a paying customer.
Yeah, I guess so. And you don't want any car crashes or anything.
Well, yeah, it might be a little bit distracting.
But the one thing I did not realize is, so I was driving past that one, and there's a girl walking into it that has like a bed sheet over her. And I'm like, what is she doing? She had to take the garbage out. I had never thought, like, that's like I'm sure a normal thing. Yeah. I never thought that, like, when they need to take a garbage out or leave or something, they can't just walk out in the middle of the parking lot.
Well, I guess it would take too long to just like put clothes on.
Yeah,
too.
So they probably just have like a community blanket or towel or something. They just
throw how many people are really working at a time? Probably one, right? There's small places.
Well, depending on if it's busy or not. Yeah, so that's.
Have you ever been to one?
I'm sure I have. I can't remember. I can't think of a time right now.
Okay. Well, was that the end of your story?
That was the end.
That was a good story. I've never thought about that.
I know. I hadn't either. It was interesting to me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's move on to our next segment. This is an exciting one. Brand new to our podcast. It's called Rank 'em, where we take a list of.
That's rank EM.
Yeah, rank 'em, not rank them. Rank 'em.
Yeah.
And it's just where we take a list of popular things, whether it's people or it's, candies, cereals, sodas, restaurants, whatever. And we'll rank them and, we'll discuss about our rankings. So our first list for rank 'em is candy. And the list, or in no particular order, is Twix, Snickers, Skittles, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, and Sour Patch Kids. I'll go over my list first.
Okay, I'll let you go.
I'm going to go from 5 to 1, so worst to best. At number 5, I have Twix. Not a huge fan. I mean, they're good, not great.
Oh, wait. Left or right Twix?
I'm right.
Okay.
I'm right-handed. You got to go right.
Yeah.
Are you right Twix?
You know what? Oddly enough, I think left Twix tastes better.
I've never had left Twix or right Twix. I don't think I've eaten a Twix since that, ad.
That's the left or so you don't care.
Yeah, I don't really care. That's why it's my least favorite.
Okay.
Number 4 is Sour Patch Kids. I like Sour Patch Kids. I think it's really good. But there's another sweet candy on this list that I like more. And I also tend to go for chocolate candies more than sweet candies. Okay. But so anyways, number 4, Sour Patch Kids. Number 3.
Is that so though because it has the word kids in it? Do you not feel comfortable eating a candy that's called kids?
Okay, so number 3 is Snickers. This seems like I feel like you would usually have this higher. Snickers are really good, but I don't know. They don't click with me like crazy. I like them more than the other two, but they're just the middle of the line. Number 3, the middle of the list. Number 2, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. Now, when I had braces, this was like the only candy that
because it's soft.
It's soft. You can't really eat Skittles. Snickers had the peanuts. You can't really eat that, right? So I started eating Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. I really started liking them more than I ever had before. And I think they're maybe like now they're like my favorite, but my all-time favorite is what I put number 1, and that is Skittles. As a kid, Skittles by far my favorite candy.
Was that influenced by Marshawn Lynch at all?
No.
Really?
Yeah, seriously.
So no, just by yourself.
As a little kid, for some reason, I just loved Skittles. So even though nowadays I might not like them quite as much, Skittles was my all-time favorite, and I'll respect it by keeping it as my number 1.
All right. Okay. Would you like to hear mine?
Yes. What's your list, Logan?
Okay, so I really only feel passionate about my very last and my very first candy selection, kind of the middle. You could switch and everything. But coming in at 5, Reese's peanut butter cups. They are just the most disgusting thing.
How dare you?
I cannot. They are up there with Almond Joys.
If you like an Almond Joy, don't talk to me.
No, they're up there with the Almond Joys. It's partly because I just can't stand peanut butter.
Oh, you don't like peanut butter?
I do not.
Well, then I can't blame you.
Not a Reese's Pieces cup or whatever they are. And then 4, like I said, I don't. Other than Reese's, I don't really hate these next 4, but I had to order them. So I think 4 would be Skittles.
So your bottom 2 are my top 2.
Yeah, that just shows how wrong you are.
That shows how wrong you are.
So so Skittles just never been like a huge, like I'll eat them if they're there, but never like Halloween, never actually like search for Skittles. Mm-hmm. Twix is number 3 because I really like Twix. Yeah. I think because of the crunch and like the caramel in it too.
Yeah, the caramel is good.
And
you said you were a left Twix person?
Yeah, I'm left. If I get it right, I just throw it away. I don't even try with it. Now, contrary to what is in the name of the candy, I do like Sour Patch Kids.
What is it with you?
I just feel
why are you so fixated on the word kids?
No, I just feel like to some people it could be worrisome if they're like, "Oh, what are you eating?" "Oh, I'm eating kids."
No one. Okay, if you're talking to someone and they're eating Sour Patch Kids and they just call them kids, I think there's something else going on there. Like, that's not exactly the person you want to be talking to.
All right. Well, I want to be open to all listeners. I want to make sure that all points of view, hey, you don't know who's listening to this.
You think someone listening to this right now calls Sour Patch Kids kids? They go to a movie theater. You guys have any kids I can eat? Okay, let's move on from that.
Yeah, I think number 2 is pretty self-explanatory.
Okay.
And number 1, by far, my favorite candy for my entire life. It has caramel. It has, what is it, nougat or nugget? What's the?
I think it's nougat.
Nougat.
I think so.
Yeah, something like that.
It has peanuts.
It has peanuts. It has chocolate. All in the same. And when you're hangry, what do you eat? You eat a Snickers.
Because you're not you when you're hungry.
Yeah, you don't want to be Betty White out there trying to play softball.
Okay.
No, you want to be yourself.
I kind of would.
But she's on her way out.
Have you even said the name of the candy yet?
Snickers.
I think.
It's so well known and so good that everybody knew what I was talking about.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that was our candy list. Let's move on to our second and final list for Rank 'em. Rappers. This is a hotly debated topic, I'd say.
Yes.
People are very passionate about their music choices. So the list that we have in no particular order is J. Cole, Eminem, Drake, Post Malone, and Kendrick Lamar. As you can tell, these aren't really like old school rappers. That's not really. I would say we don't listen to that as much.
Well,
I listen to some, but I'd say we're just keeping it new school rappers, the people who are really big right now. I mean, Eminem is not quite, but anyways, let's move on to Logan's list. Logan, what you got?
Okay, so again, just like the other than Reese Pieces, I don't hate any of these rappers by any means, but just to rank them in this order, coming in at number 5, I would say Drake. Because like a lot of his music's good, like him with Meek Mill and everything, they're pretty good. But like he has some weird stuff too, like the Tootsie Slide or whatever.
Yeah,
not my favorite. Not kind of weird. Laugh Now, Cry Later.
Yeah,
not my favorite. Coming at 4, I would say Post Malone, and I'm a very big fan of Post Malone. But compared to the other 3 guys that are on this list, I would say that he's 4. Post Malone is one of those rappers that I think everybody's parents like. Like, I haven't met one of my friend's parents who hasn't liked Post Malone, which is, I think, super cool for him and his type of music. Coming in at number 3, I would say Kendrick Lamar. Granted, I don't know about I don't think he's released anything new, like super new, but when he was in his prime, he was pumping out some gold. Like there was bangers on bangers on bangers. Number 2, would be J. Cole.
Yeah.
J. Cole and Kendrick are like two rappers that are like pretty like humble and just like don't do a whole lot of
they're not like the people who rap about thugs,
or anything.
Killing and drugs.
They just kind of keep to themselves and just pump out bars on bars on bars.
Yeah.
And then coming in at number 1, I'm very, very, very passionate about this. This would be my man Marshall Mathers, Eminem. This man has been great for what I want to say about 72 years now. He's been on the top, something like that.
I mean, honestly, I know you're trying to just exaggerate his greatness, but I think that's kind of disrespectful.
I think it's pretty accurate.
You're calling him like really old.
He is old, and he still pumps out bangers.
I get that, but I mean, when you're in your like 40s, you probably don't want people saying you're in your 70s.
I didn't say he was in his 70s.
You said he's been a top rapper for 72 years. So
Yeah.
what, he's in his 90s right now?
No, he could be. He like before the womb, he was pumping out
30 years before he was born.
Yeah. Who knows? You don't know how biology works.
I don't. I'm not a biology major.
But yeah, so I would say Eminem by far. Just even his new stuff and even his old stuff, like the funny stuff with like the real Slim Shady, all those stuff, and now he's more serious. Anything he puts out, I'm just a huge fan of.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Jack, what about your list?
Well, when I wrote down my list, I actually had it slightly different than what I'm about to say.
Okay.
I originally had Post Malone at 5.
Okay.
But after like really thinking about it, I'm gonna go Drake at 5, like you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't dislike Drake.
But out of the 5 here,
I agree. And when I was like freshman, sophomore year of high school, I loved like every song Drake came out with. But nowadays, I'm not really feeling his music quite as much. I think he's a good rapper, and he's gonna be remembered in like our generation.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna go Drake number 5, Post Malone number 4. Those are the two that I switched. I'm a fan of Post.
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan of Post Malone early on.
Like the White Iverson era?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did like that song.
I did too, but like everything else.
Exactly. So
now,
that song was good. Everything else he came out with, I wasn't a huge fan. I didn't really like his like whole persona. Just wasn't a big fan. Now I like him more. I think he's he's Posty. Everyone likes Post Malone. So
yeah. Have you ever heard somebody like, man, I really hate Posty?
No. I mean, even if you don't like his music, you like him.
Yeah.
So
he's a
so Post Malone is my number 4. Now this might make you angry, but Eminem.
So disrespectful.
Eminem's my number 3.
So disrespectful.
So here's the thing. As a little kid, like elementary school, middle school, when I was like first getting into rap, Eminem, my favorite. I loved Eminem.
Did you hit your head or something?
You talked about Slim Shady. You talked about all his like OG stuff. I love it. And I do think Eminem has an incredible, like, he can rap, like rap god, and he raps so fast. And I love listening to that. But as I've gotten older, he's just not quite my favorite. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, he's a great rapper, but I have him at number 3. Number 2, Kendrick Lamar. I love Kendrick.
I don't know if I can take any of your other 2 suggestions here.
After
you just disrespected Eminem.
Yeah, well, at least I didn't say he was like 100 years old.
I
love
didn't either.
Kendrick dropped bars. I love his beats, super clean. And I like that he's not constantly rapping about, shooting people, doing drugs, all that stuff. And then my number 1, J. Cole.
Yep.
I think J. Cole is, you basically went over everything. J. Cole and Kendrick are dropping just constant bangers. Their beats are hella clean.
And, like, what other rapper out there do you know has, like, as great a hair as J. Cole?
J. Cole has some great hair. And he can win. He can back scratch dunk. He's athletic.
See, that's a guy who I want to hang out with and want to listen to.
I think J. Cole's a dope person. Out of these 5 rappers, I'd want to meet J. Cole.
Yeah.
He's a hella cool person. I love his music. I love his beats that he comes out with. It's just, I'm going to say he's my number 1.
All right. I don't agree with it, but I will listen.
You got to accept it.
Yeah.
Well, guys, that's all we got for today. I hope you enjoyed our new segments. We had a lot of fun recording this episode. Make sure to remember to follow us on Instagram at Cougs Chaos. Email us at cougschaos@gmail.com. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. Tell us your favorite color. Just get to know us.
And tell us what color your eyes are.
Tell us what color your eyes are. We'd love to know.
That's probably like before, like you say, like, oh, this is what you changed about the show. We want to know who we're talking to.
And the only way to get to know each other is to know what color. So my eyes are blue.
What are my eyes? I can't see.
I can't tell.
We'll say brown.
Okay. Maybe hazel.
Hazel.
Logan's eyes are hazel. So now you know us more than really anyone.
You're
So
welcome.
just let us know what your eye color is, and I hope you come back and listen to more.
Yeah, they're not
episodes.
coming back after this.
No. See you guys.
Thank you.